smartest
people
guys
around.
are about to break it down like they won the game a million times.
Well, actually, one of them did win the game at all.
Survivor know it all. Survivor know it all.
Rob and Maryanne.
Got the game all figured out. They know it all.
Yeah, that's right. We're back. Survivor Know-It-Alls, episode number 2 of Survivor 47. And look who's here. I'm so excited to talk to somebody who's on my New Era Mount Rushmore.
Thank you.
Here she is, the winner, Survivor 42, Maryanne Oketch.
Hi, Rob. So great to be here. And as you can see, for those who are watching on video, just a reminder what tribe I'm from, Taku tribe. Not sure if that's flipped or not. Finally got that thing hung up.
Yes. What do you mean that's flipped? Oh, you mean like,
Okay,
are we seeing it mirror image?
I'm not sure how you're seeing it, but for me on my screen, it's mirrored. But it does
You're
say
good.
Taku.
Look, you look perfect. Taku.
Perfect. Absolutely. Taku.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited to taco to you because we have a lot to break down from this latest episode of Survivor. Stephen is away. Be back next time to talk on Thursday. But boy, what an upgrade.
No, don't you know? No. Steven and I Freaky Friday'd. I'm Steven.
What do you mean? It's Thursday.
Well, it's it's Friday somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's Friday. And I had to go to medical school with all these students. And look, here's proof. I have my story that I wrote because
Yes.
I'm Steven.
Wait, hold on. Steven, you're in Maryanne's body?
Yeah, we had a whole argument about which one's going to be harder, playing Survivor and have racing kids or, changing careers. And then we did the musical version. So we had an hourglass and the hourglass broke. And then now we're in different bodies.
So, Steven, then Maryanne is in your body?
Yes, raising my indeterminate amount of children and writing short stories as we speak.
Steven, it's 2. You have 2 children.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's back to Maryanne. It's me again, Rob.
Yes.
I learned the true meaning of
you're back.
parenthood.
You're back.
Yeah. I promised I was going to be here. So
okay. Well, when you have to give out the fishy, then you'll have to go back.
Okay. Perfect. I'll make sure to call Steven back with his 2 kids. You see, I know how many kids Steven has.
Yes. Okay.
Because I was there.
Yes. Well, in fairness, you didn't watch his season until after you had played in one.
Also, he didn't have kids when he played. So I wouldn't have known either way. It's a lose-lose situation.
Okay. All right. Maryanne, tell me, how have you been?
Oh I've been good, since last time I saw you, which was at my wedding. So thank you for coming.
Yes. What an amazing day. Of course, a total eclipse of the sun and of the heart.
We saw the eclipse. It was great. Surrounded by families and friends. I did a career change. I'm now a student again. I'm in medical school. That's my new Chiron.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Started 4 weeks ago. I actually have my first test tomorrow. So very excited about that.
Oh, that's incredible.
Thank you. We moved. So I'm not 10 minutes away from Omer, unfortunately. I am now 2.5 hours away with traffic being bad. 2 hours of traffic is good. So, but I try to see Omer as often as I can. And I think that's up. That's what's up with me, playing video games, in school, studying, married life, that sort of thing.
Newlywed, sure. What video game are you playing?
Right now I'm playing Ace Attorney Investigations. I love a big Ace Attorney thing, but if you are into video games, and
Ace Attorney Investigations.
I play as a prosecutor and I go and solve murders.
I mean, that doesn't sound very fun.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
Can I look this up real quick?
Ace
Attorney.
We didn't think it was ever going to be localized. The people who know. You play as Miles Edgeworth, who is the #1 beloved fan. There's like 10 games in this series, and this is like a spinoff. And so you go and you investigate things. Then you have to cross-examine witnesses and find.
Okay.
and like find objections. And it makes me feel good on the brain. And no one thought this was going to be localized. We all thought the second game was always going to be just in Japan, and they announced it and everybody freaked out. So we're really enjoying it. And hopefully Ace Attorney 7 is going to be announced this Monday. But the fandom is small and a little delusional.
Well, let's see if your Ace Attorney investigations helps you with solving some of these Survivor mysteries that we have going on.
Absolutely. Like the mystery of how no one knows how to talk behind people's back properly.
Yes. Okay. So, Maryanne, first off, how's Survivor 47 treating you?
Wonderfully. Survivor 47 is treating me wonderfully. The players are so willing to play. I feel as if they have a vigor because they know that season 50 is going to be returning players. And I feel as if that vibe is really going and like emanating in the way that people are playing.
That's so interesting because I feel like I haven't heard that talked about in practice. I feel like that was something that we speculated about coming into this season of like, okay, this is going to be the first season that people are going to know people are coming back. Are people going to be? So who are you seeing that are thinking maybe living in Survivor 47 and maybe in Survivor 50?
I feel as if we saw it so clearly and I'm so bad with names, on the Blue Tribe, willing to go to rocks on the first. Gabe willing to go to rocks. We'll break that down a little bit more, especially with the idol play. But on the first tribal, I feel that like really aggressive gameplay is so shown with someone who wants to really bring it all, show how they can play.
Yeah.
But of course, I might just be overseeing things.
Maybe, but no, I think that's a pretty good point, and I hadn't really put that all together. Gabe, the first confessional we hear from him on the season is like, I want to be on the Mount Rushmore of the new era.
Absolutely. Why do you want to be on Rushmore? To come again? Or maybe he just loves the game. I'm not going to speculate too much.
Yeah. And so he had this big plan. And now I don't know if you listened to any of the exit press with TK from today. Did you happen to hear anybody's interview with TK?
No, I have been in class until this very moment, unfortunately. So please give me quick updates.
TK was in very good spirits. I, of course, have my interview up. I also listened to Mike Bloom's interview with TK, but he said a lot of the same stuff in both of them. And he talked about how in the challenge that he found Gabe to be especially stubborn and was not really working as a team player in, as I'm paraphrasing a little bit of what TK said. I asked TK, do you feel like in hindsight, was Gabe trying to throw the challenge? And he did not have an answer for that. He said, you know what? The thought had crossed my mind after the fact.
Interesting. I don't know. Maybe he was throwing the challenge, but like, I feel as if with Gabe's position, what was the benefit of throwing a challenge, Like, go ahead.
I don't know. That how much did Gabe have this moment of this tribal council where he ultimately plays an idol here and goes to potentially going to rocks? How much did Gabe have this all planned out ahead of time?
Oh, I think actually that Tiyana going and rolling her eyes saved her, because remember how like Gabe was really in with Caroline and Sue, and he's like, we knew that he didn't want to be with like the strong people alliance. We knew that, but he didn't know how he was going to make it work. He didn't know who his fourth was going to be, if he'd had to play his idol or not. But remember when Tiyana seemed annoyed by TK, Gabe was like, oh, I didn't realize this is how she really felt. And maybe now I could bring her in and then we can go and take out TK. So I really feel as if the plan to go and take out TK, really who's that fourth member and who we're taking out on that strong alliance, was really built from that time when the challenge was lost to the time that Tribal was there.
Tell me a little bit about the decision to take out TK. Now, TK was not quite, with all due respect to TK, he wasn't quite Jonathan in terms of being somebody who is helping you win these challenges, but still a very bold decision for this tribe to take out TK at the first tribal council. Yeah,
I think bold decision, but I think it comes from two groups, right? Where it's like, do I want to have a core people? So if we go home 2, 3, 4 times, I know I'll be there. Or do I just not want to go home and then keep strong people here? I think for Gabe, I really feel as if he valued the strategy and knowing that he wants to work with people and knowing that he wants to be on top of the alliance that he's there. Because right now he's in with Carolyn and Sue, so probably the next two tribals, Gabe is okay. In the previous alliance that was in the previous alliance that he was in, it was very clear to him. It seemed that he knew that he was number 4 in the alliance, that he wasn't going to be the people that they were really going to save. This meant that if they go to tribal 3 times, Gabe would be the one that's going home. So I think that in Gabe's sense, he was really thinking, you know what? I'm going to go make sure that I'm here to stay at the end of the day. If we go to tribal 3 times, I'm still going to be here because I'm going to be integrated. I think that decision for Gabe, it's one of those decisions where you don't really know if it's the right or wrong decision because it's so early in the game. So you have to make it the right or wrong decision. For Sue, obvious no-brainer. For Carolyn, obvious no-brainer because it makes them on top. The big question was that the best move for Tiyana? And that's what I really want to delve into for a little bit.
Please.
Yeah, because for Tiyana, I think that Tiyana going and flipping, I think really showed how masterful Gabe was, because I don't think Tiyana would have been comfortable flipping if she knew that Carolyn, Gabe, and Carolyn, Gabe, and Sue were a strong 3. It was very clear to me that Gabe was making sure that they didn't look like a strong 3 for Tiyana to flip, and instead made TK be voted out. I think that for Tiyana, this now puts her in a less strong position than she was before. But I think that one thing that's important is she's now working with people who are interested in working with her and who she vibes with. And I really think that vibe and morale brings you a long, long way, especially when you look farther in the future, such as a merge. I also think that in the long run, if Tiyana is able to stay, she's in a weaker position, but this is actually stronger for her. And the reason why I think that is because let's say that she's in the merge with TK and TK wins immunity, there's a higher chance that they'd vote her out to weaken TK. But in this group with Carolyn, Gabe, Sue, she can integrate a little bit more at merge or at a swap. So I think that even though she might be in a shakier ground, in the long run, this isn't a bad move.
Okay. I will respectfully disagree. I think that she is very much in danger. I know you said she's on shaky ground. I think she's very much in danger to potentially go out. And I think that she feels like, she just made a big move to jump into a women's alliance, which we know from our vantage point doesn't actually exist. They sort of like sold her this bill of goods. Kudos to Sue, who really tried to play up like this, fake women's alliance that I don't think that we've necessarily seen this in the new era where we'll get this this woman who's actually the 4th in our pecking order. We'll tell her that, hey, come make this epic boss girl move with us. And she's like, okay, yeah, let's do it. The women are coming together. Okay, he's just TK. We're doing it. And got her to bite on this, but ultimately, Tiyana doesn't know that she's probably the person who's going to go to the Ponderosa if they go to another tribal council.
I think it depends on Kyle. Actually,
they love Kyle.
They love Kyle, but maybe people. A lot of times when you make a move like this, when you take a big person out, you start to become more future focused. I'm telling you, this is what happens in Survivor. So what maybe they're going to be thinking, oh my goodness, if we take Kyle to the end, he's going to be a big threat. Let's take Kyle out now because they've already felt that blindside blood. They want to keep it going. They want to continue it. So I really think that I agree with you. I think that Tiyana's on shakier ground. I think that if she kept TK, she would have been good for the next 2 tribals. But I think that if Blue continues to win, then this is actually, it's a better, how am I going to try to face this? Bad short-term, better long-term. But then the question is, why are you thinking of the long-term when you should be thinking of the short-term?
Yeah, I think that they've just got to figure out how to get through every next 3 days. And I think that her position, had they voted out Sue, I don't see where Tiyana would have not made the merge. And I think that there is a possibility that she doesn't end up making the merge now.
I can agree with you. I'll agree with you on that point.
Yeah.
I think, though, it's just a big point that this was a masterful move from Carolyn, Sue, and Gabe, and they played that extremely well.
Yeah. But Maryanne, with these 6-person tribes, these small groups, like, is it really just about like I know we've like last season I felt like if it was a mistake to get rid of Jelinski, you needed him for the challenges, but is it really just about like just get to the merge with like you know, one or two other people that you trust and then go from there, like we saw like with Carolyn and Jam Jam and Carson?
Yeah, I actually think that in these 6 tribe 0 split, assuming that there's no swap, I think that it is vital to make sure that you go into the merge with people that you trust, with people that you like. And a lot of times that actually means that it's better for you to go after going to tribal once. So you would have instilled the trust with the other players. We've seen time and time again, like for example, in 41, the blue tribe, Erica's tribe, or 43 with the yellow tribe after they went to tribal only on the first tribal, never again. They immediately implode once they get to being able to vote someone out. There's no trust built in the players. They're antsy. They're going for the kill. So I think that it's so important to be able to go with people that you trust rather than making it to the merge. Because if you make it to the merge with someone who you don't like, probably not going to work.
Yeah. It's interesting because Gabe said in the preseason he wanted to play like Russell, that Russell was his hero. He wanted to bring back the Survivor game that he fell in love with when he watched Russell. And Russell, of course, famously came into the merge and he was down 8-4, but his 4 was much tighter than the larger Galoo 8. And that ultimately carried it through. And I've always said about Survivor, it doesn't matter necessarily about the overall numbers. Like the largest, tightest group is going to usually win the day. Even if that's 3, it could be 2. You know, you have a tight 2 against a loose like 5 or 6 people. A lot of times that tight 2 is going to figure it out.
Yep, I completely agree. And Gabe, especially with this going and saving Sue and Carolyn, like saving Sue and flipping the vote, that's something that brings tightness. That's something that brings camaraderie. So I think that those 3 are going to be tight. I don't see any future where they're going to go and turn on another, at least, but who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, who knows what's going to happen? But I really do feel like that, you know, the more I'm talking about it, like that Gabe and Sue and Caroline, they did this thing together. They've got this tight 3. I mean, look, Gabe is a wild card and might end up flipping on them, but it feels like that they already pulled off a big move once. Like, I kind of feel like that they're stuck now.
Yeah, but
stuck together in a good way.
I agree. I just don't see how Gabe would feel like flipping on Carolyn or Sue, at least where we are in the moment, right? Gabe feels like he's the center of the 2. Like maybe if he feels that Sue and Carolyn are a little too close to each other, but I don't see any time, at least in the next, I'd say, until final 8, him flipping on one or the 2 of them. They're in for the long run, knock on wood.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on over at the Gata tribe. And I'm really interested to get your opinion on something. All right, could I play a clip for you?
Oh, I love clips.
Okay, I want to play a clip for you, and this comes to us from our great friend, Mike Bloom. Of course, preseason, he talked with everybody. He put together a compilation of all the Survivor hot takes that he asked them. He said, tell us about your hottest takes, and he actually leads things off with Andy.
What is your most controversial Survivor opinion? What's your hottest take about a player or a season or the show itself?
There is nothing more overrated in Survivor history than the hidden immunity idol. These things are not worth the parchment that their notes are printed on. Woo! I mean, like, just think about it. Like, okay, in the new era, let's talk about the new era specifically. Maryanne is the only winner in the new era to ever touch a full-fledged hidden immunity idol, one without like a quick expiration date like Gabler. And, you know, she used hers to her advantage in certain ways, but she never had to play one for game reasons. None of them did. That goes to show that holding an idol is orthogonal to your win equity, right? And you see so many times people get the idol, they get so excited because they think it's their like, you know, ticket to the end. And more often than not, it blows up. In 46, how many people are leaving with idols in their pockets because of the idea, the myth of the idol? It is so clear to me that the real advantage is knowing where the advantages are.
Okay. All right. So, Maryanne, what a clip. Great job by Mike Bloom. You can watch that whole video on Mike's YouTube channel. So interesting how Andy looks at the hidden immunity idol and of course, shouts you out and what you were able to do with the hidden immunity idol. Does Andy have a point?
Andy has a point. It's not a hot take. I completely agree with Andy. If you look at the hidden immunity idol, if you look at people who need to play the idol, they're usually out between 1 or 2 votes after. I think Christian even had a bit about this that he chatted with you about many podcasts ago. It's only like on the odd time when you see, for example, a Ben or Rick Devins who are able to go and utilize the idol and keep going to the end. Very rarely does someone who actually needs to play the idol make it to the end. I agree with Andy. It's more important to know where the advantages are or to have the social equity. I think now that knowing that that's Andy's hot take, seeing how he stopped not picking up the beware advantage makes so much sense, because he's out here with this mind where it's like idols aren't actually great for the game, which is correct. But then he has the position to have an idol. And I think where he went wrong was that I believe that idols don't actually help you win the game. But I don't believe that means that if you see an idol, you shouldn't go and take the idol, So
yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, it's interesting, and you had the 2 idols. You had the beware advantage,
yes, I did.
And then ultimately the idol that really ended up being the big difference maker for you, respectfully, is the one that you showed at the Final Drop Council, and not even the one that you played. For Andy, though, to go back to what he says, that the real value of the idol is the knowledge of the idol. And in a weird way, it ends up being that knowledge about the idol that does come to, at least in the short term, seemingly help Andy in his relationship with Sam, where he goes to Sam and confesses to his little bit of incorrect knowledge about the idol, and Sam feels like I can trust him because he's coming to me with this information.
Yeah, I think that was great. I think especially because Andy being on we hear from his tribe mates that they want him to be the perceived bottom, the easy next boot. He's really trying to go and find those bonds. And then Sam, remember, left him at camp, came back. Where's Andy? Looking for the idol. And to have Andy then come back and be like, hey, I actually found it. I'm trying to show that I want allyship. Sam could be like, you know what? Let me go and use Andy. This is actually great. I know where all the information is. And then Andy now wants to work with me. I think that was actually really great move on Andy, because he was using the information that he could have to go and try to give an olive branch. I just found that it was really funny that he said it to the person who actually knew where that idol was.
What did you think about the way that Sam handled his business of going to look for the different parts of the idol?
Oh my gosh. I want to just speak. I think that Sam played it perfectly. I have flowers to give for Sam. I think it was so smart, because I think it was Annika that was with him when he found the beware advantage, right? You can't really stop that. But then he said, you know what? Sierra is my number 1. I have to tell her, because Annika knows. And if there's someone else who knows who's not my number 1, I have to make sure that they know. That is something, and I actually talked to Omer yesterday, which I feel that Omer should have done with his idol nullifier. He found the idol nullifier with Jonathan beside him, but then he kept it a secret only with him and Jonathan.
Yeah.
So
now, Maryanne,
yep.
Do you need to rub salt in the wounds?
Didn't
you already
I do.
end Omer's Survivor game? Now 3 years later, you're going to call him up and say, I've been thinking about what your game was. You know what another thing you screwed up was?
Yes, but this is to give Sam his flowers, because look, if Annika has the information, exactly, Annika has this information, and we saw she gave it to Rachel. And now, by going and giving the information to his number 1, and also correctly identifying that Annika would give that information to Rachel, and then telling Rachel he mitigated the target that was on his back for hiding that idol, and then is actually now, I feel, in like a better position than he would have been if he did not tell his allies. And also making sure that every single ally got a little special little bit. You know, Annika got to find the idol, Rachel got to untie the knot, Sierra got to open the box. Everyone feels, yeah, I'm the one. And, you know, he only did the other thing because like he had to, but I'm the one he really trusts. That was so masterfully played. And then also the cherry on top, when an idol is known, it is so weak for the player. For Sam to be like, I'm just going to take the one tribe idol, people. I'm just going to go. So now everyone knows that idol is only worth for one tribal. So what's the point in getting Sam out because he has an idol? Because that idol is going to be gone either way. It really reduces the power of the idol and then makes sure that Sam is in a better position. I think that it is like flowers.
Okay, well, let me just play devil's advocate.
Okay.
So you say, okay, I agree with everything you said, but for him to just keep the one tribal council idol when everybody is feeling so good about Sam, and it's feeling like, okay, this is a community idol, isn't this a tool that they could take with them for Mergatory or some point when, okay, the Gata 4 potentially needs that idol?
No. You see, I think that a community idol benefits every single person except for the person who has the idol. You know, we've seen what a community idol has done. Like, oh my goodness, I'm going to give Julie my community idol. That's what Austin said. And then it's going to be great. And then we can use it for how we want. But then if your interests split, that sucks for you because there you go. Now that idol can't be used the way that you want to be used. And so I think that it makes the most sense for Sam to just get rid of that idol, get rid of the information and the power that other people have, especially because let's say this nice little group of 5, then someone starts to hate Sam, and then it's like somehow manages to go talk over the man and be like, Sam has the idol, we have to get Sam. No, I think I am always against. Like I like it. I like the one tribe idol. I was like, maybe he can do 3, but of course not to the full-fledged 5. But I think that it was a fine decision for him to do just one tribal.
Yeah. Something from the On Fire podcast, and I don't have the exact quote, but Jeff was talking about this with Charlie, and Charlie was talking about how it was actually like he liked, and Rome also decided to use the one tribal immunity idol choice. Jeff said, actually, he didn't like it that the players were choosing the safer options. They might change it. It might take that option away. He said.
Oh, no. I think giving the player the option, that's what makes it great, you know? Because Gabe chose 3, right? 3 tribals. And then
but used it at the first one.
But used it at the first one, exactly. But then it's like you have Rome, who has this idol, walks in on Teeny, showing the box, showing his idol to someone else. At that point, that means that the person you trust is giving it to someone else. Of course, I'm going to take the one tribal idol because nothing is secure anymore. I have to go and secure my position for the next tribal. I think it makes sense. And I think giving the players that option makes the most sense, especially because, like, let's say you had to do these multiple steps. Now you have someone who knows about these steps. And then you now have someone who knows about these steps and now can stop you from doing what you need to do to get the idol. I think I liked the 1, 3, and then total. And I also liked how it wasn't based on like, oh, you have to go to tribal to get all the steps. And then I really liked as well too, how it's like, you can choose to do it or not, but you have to do it now. I think it was a really cool idol mechanic.
I don't think it would be the worst thing in the world to have some pre-merge idol plays in the new era. I feel like that we sort of like end up like saving them. You forget who has it. So it wouldn't be the worst thing. But okay, so you mentioned, Rome found the clue. Then he went and told Teeny. She brought over Keyshawn, and this was your reaction when Rome came over and saw them.
I was shocked. If you're showing someone this, is no one on lookout? Is no one on lookout? Like, are you like? I was genuinely shocked. Like,
okay, now hold on, Maryanne. Now, is this a staged photo? Is this like a photo that you have?
No. This was live in the moment. I was so shocked.
Okay,
And then I watched Survivor
Connor
with
just
Connor.
grabs a candid shot of like, okay,
Connor
I need that.
has a candid shot of me because I was, as you know, when I'm shocked, I stay shocked for a long amount of time. Like, and this scene lasted for quite a bit of time. And so I'm watching them. I'm watching Rome walk in. Teeny having to say, "Oh no, I told him because I wanted to work with all of you." It was. Oh, it was just so bad. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
How would you have handled that if it was your idol Clue?
Yeah. If it was my idol Clue and I walked in, like, you know, gag, gooped, and gall. Actually,
It's like you're reading my diary.
The first thing which I would do would be like, I am so dumb. Why did I tell someone about the idol when no one knew about it? Like, I guess to build trust, but come on. Then the second thing which I would do is like, okay, if I told Teeny and Teeny told someone else, that means that there is whatever like olive branch which I tried to give obviously did not work. The third thing which I would do is then be like, okay, I just have to let everyone know that I have this idol, because if I give Teeny and Keyshawn the power to give my information out, then it's even worse for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love the idea of Rome having the one tribal council idol and being the person. It's almost like he won the veto. It's like
he won the veto.
Or individual immunity, but it feels a little bit like he was on the block.
Yep.
He comes in, I got the veto.
Yep.
Find somebody else to put on the block tonight.
I just hope that Rome does not try to be cute. Like, play that idol on yourself. Like, just play it on yourself and then tell people you're going to play it on yourself. Because if I was in that situation and it's like 5 people against Rome, that's enough to split votes for Rome, you know? So you can do 3 and 2. Do not play it cute. Just play it on yourself. And I think you can leverage power in that moment to be like, hey, I'm 1 vote, find 2 more people, or they can throw that vote on you. But that's future talk. Who knows when they're going to lose? Red's going to go to tribal. They're very strong.
Yep. Are things as bad for Rome as they're looking, Maryanne? Because couldn't we have maybe looked at maybe the early days of Taku and people like, boy, Maryanne sure does talk a lot.
I think one thing that helps and that Rome needs to do is that if it needs to go well for Rome, they need to go to tribal. And Rome needs to go and live another day so that something can shift. So then after, like, Rome can then be reintegrate into the tribe. Because already at this point, Rome, they're still, everyone's target 1 is on Rome. I also think that this can be done like pseudoli if he goes and tells everyone he has his idol and starts to work on making relationships. Be like, hey, I have an idol. I'm going to play it. I really want it. Like, I'm going to be here next time. Let's figure something out. Let's make alliances. I really think that Rome needs to take this time to go and reintegrate himself into the tribe. He kind of tried to do that with Teeny, but then Teeny immediately burnt the bridge. So I think he needs to find someone else to try to do that with.
Yeah. Do you think that Rome has a chance to get back in the good graces?
I think if they keep on winning immunity, Rome has a chance. And the reason is because when people don't win immunity, you start to, and especially when you're a fan of Survivor, you start to get a little antsy. You start to be like, you start to be like, oh, I actually want to do this. I want to do this. I want to play the game of Survivor. And that can actually be capitalized. Rome can capitalize on that antsy feeling, that feeling of wanting to pull the trigger and actually make it so that he can reintegrate himself maybe for 1 vote, 2 votes. But what Rome needs is time. And what Rome needs to do is to have someone talk to him and explain how people are perceiving him.
Okay. Maryanne, what about your fellow Canadian,
yes.
Genevieve? Where is Genevieve?
Where is Genevieve? I always root for Canadians, and I'm so sad that I did not get a lot of Genevieve this episode. It made me very sad, but I'm still always hoping and rooting. We saw it happen to Erica. Hopefully it's not going to happen to Genevieve, but it still can.
Okay. All right, Maryanne, something else you posted on over at x.com.
Oh my gosh.
You said that about Rachel.
Yes.
She took the rice. You
yes.
said Rachel sneaking rice in her pockets is exactly what I've been doing, what I would be doing. a lot of the Survivor alumni also had come to Rachel's defense
Yes.
and said, yes, Rachel should be allowed to steal the rice.
Oh, absolutely. I am team Rachel should be allowed to steal the rice. I think that we lost such a great scene or a secret scene. Like, imagine going back to camp, seeing that Rachel goes and dumps like her pocket rice out and goes and cooks the rice. And as we said, we love thieves. We love Rupert. Rupert stole the shoes. Like, so this is a part of Survivor's history.
But what would Ace Attorney say?
What would Ace Attorney say? In the game that I'm playing, there's a great thief, so I'm pretty sure she'd like it too. And also, that rice, that rice is going to go to waste anyways. So you might as well let the players who are smart enough, to little pocket the rice a little bit to bring the rice back. But like, I can understand why no one was allowed to take rice, because not everyone might have had pockets, right? And you can't just go take your shirt off, have a massive rice in your hand off, because that's what the thinking is. It's like, well, if we let her put it in her pockets, then, and if we allow it, someone can take their shirt off and then collect all the rice, and then we're not starving them anymore. That wouldn't be fair. That'd be a disadvantage. So I think pocketing the rice was a smart move, but like, I understand why they didn't like it in the whole sense, but I think it should have still been allowed. I think they should have done, what's that game? Red light, green light game. If Jeff doesn't catch you, then you get to keep the rice.
But he caught her.
Yeah. I think that the powers that be caught her. I don't think Jeff caught her. And yes. I think that if Jeff didn't see it, it should have been allowed.
Yeah. I wonder, could they have just let it slide this one time, and then Jeff, like at the next challenge, like, hey, Rachel, I heard you stole rice. Like, just so you know, this is not it's not allowed.
I see why they wouldn't, because then people could complain.
But how many times do they even have a challenge where there is like a
bag of rice you have to go and stab?
Right.
Yeah,
right. I mean, maybe it's like in Survivor Panama, they were throwing fish around, but the winner got to keep the fish. But they were like, hey, nobody better be putting a bass in their pocket.
Yeah. I think that if it was implied but not explicitly said, I think Rachel should have been able to keep the rice. And like you said, at the next tribal, Rachel, we saw what you did with the rice, blow up that spot a little bit as the little punishment. But I think she should have kept the rice. I think that was so smart, because how many calories are you really going to get from the rice that you can give to people and like
pocket
5 people
rice
in your pockets? Like, it's not really going to be that much to make maybe a morale boost, but not like an actual physical boost.
Yeah. So I agree. They should have let it go, but it was still a good moment.
Yes, it was. That was
Spicy Jeff is here and ready to go.
Yes. Threatened Sue with a knife.
Yeah. He said, "You better." She wasn't even like doing anything. He's like, "Give me that idol, or I'll get my knife out."
Yes. Oh, I know. He's thinking. He was probably kicking his feet, giggling, thinking when he stabbed the rice in 45.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, let me play a clip for you. This was from Tribal Council. Jeff was talking to the Taku tribe. Mm-hmm. Who's out looking for the idols? It's Gabe. Gabe says, "Look, let me be Indiana Jones. Come on." Yeah. Come on, Harrison Ford only gets to be Indiana Jones. Let me. I'll do it. So this was Jeff following Gabe. Let me just look for the idol.
Gabe, your enthusiasm for that, to me, is the hallmark of a new era player. You all tend to wear your hearts on your sleeves. You're more passionate. We had it with you today, TK. It was different. You were frustrated about the challenge. So did you have an intention when you said, I want people to know I'm not happy?
Okay, tell me about the hallmark of a new era player, Maryanne, because I feel like that's something that you really personified to me.
Oh my goodness. I think that the people who Survivor are casting are people who love Survivor. This has been their dream, maybe for months, years, decades, to go on the show. And when you're going through that process, they really encourage you to be like, this is your one shot. This is your one time to play. Don't leave with regrets. Do what you want to do. So then you're coming in the mind being like, this is my one shot. I'm going to do the things that I want to do. I'm going to go explore. I'm going to go experience exactly what I want to experience. And if I want to go do idol hunting, I'm going to do that. Cause like, it's like what I'm going to sit down and be afraid of doing things because of the experience. And I can speak to that because I remember on the second day when I had to go on the journey, I was thinking, oh no, I shouldn't go on the journey because that's going to put me in a bad spot. And then I thought, Maryanne, how many times are you going to be able to go on a journey on Survivor and see what's there, go on a boat? You're not like, it's like, this is what you came here for. This is what you dreamed of. And I'm like, so you know what? I'm going to actually go and say, I want to go on this journey because what are the chances of you ever going to be, that you're ever going to experience that? So I think it's that battle of like, okay, what's best for my game versus what's best for my experience of playing Survivor that every player struggles with.
Yeah. And you said, I'm going to go on the roller coaster with my arms up in the air.
Absolutely.
Okay. Then, let's take some questions from the listeners. Okay. We've got some questions from the chat. People that are, is my audio okay?
At least for me, it is.
Okay, good. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and bring in some questions from the listeners. Okay. How about, is it the optimal move now to tell most of your tribe about your Beware Advantage idol like Sam did? Historically, everyone's going to find out about it anyway.
That's a really good one, Tags. You see,
Yes.
what I feel is if the idol is unable to be found by yourself, or B, has a certain amount of time that you can use the idol, I think that is always better for at least someone else to know. Because a lot of times, let's say that you play an idol pre-merge, people will be like, oh my gosh, she had an idol. This, like, what's this trust? Can I trust this person? Why didn't they tell me about the idol? And it's not worth it if your idol's only worth 1 or 2 times and you need to have it. So I think that if you're not able to go and get the idol immediately, like for example, like there's many things, or someone finds you looking, you should tell someone. Or if the idol is only worth it for one tribal, because if you want to play that one idol, you got to let someone know so no one's like, oh my goodness, they were fighting an idol. That's how I personally feel.
How about Andy's decision to leave the idol alone? Did you like that?
No, I didn't like that. I feel as if you have the ability to find an idol, I think you take that Beware Advantage and then you figure out what comes next. But I'm a very risk positive person. Like if I'm looking for an idol, I'm committing to that idol. And like also, like what was Andy expecting to find? A non-Beware Advantage when there's been Beware Advantages for the past 6 seasons? So I feel as if mentally he should have been prepared. Okay, I'm probably going to lose my vote. So I think for me, I would have still gotten the idol. And if you're still very risk adverse, just do the one tribal idol.
Okay. All right. Stacy has a question. She says, do you think that Asia is in danger now that Rome has the idol and Teeny and Keyshawn know? I'm hoping that the target moves to Purple Genevieve, but I wish that they would show who Teeny's true number 3 is, Asia or Saul. Also, I haven't heard anyone mention Saul single-handedly hauling that rice bag in the water. Saul is a powerhouse.
Saul is very, very strong. And I think that people like Saul as well, too. So I don't know who's next there. And I think that because we don't know who the true number 3 is, we don't know who's going to be going home or not. And I think that's intentional from the producers to make us be like, who's going to go home? Who's going to go home? If
we never really know until they're going to tribal council.
You never really know. But if I were to guess, Teeny was so adamant about playing with Asia. Extremely, extremely adamant. And if I was adamant to play with someone that well, you know, even saying, hey, let's wait for Asia to come back before we make our 4, I think that I would keep Asia. So I think it's between Genevieve and Saul. And we don't know what they're looking at, like if Rome is strong, like, and Saul was seen as very strong. So maybe that'll lean towards Genevieve, but maybe this is a tribe that's going to lean on trust instead, and they can trust Genevieve instead of Saul. So I just don't think we have enough information to know.
Okay, here's a question for you from Jackie Fung, who says, we just had 2 male contestants voted out. Do you see the next person being voted out being a man? How's that going to change things?
you know what? With 2 male contestants being voted out, I think it subconsciously tells people, okay, if all these tribes are taking the typical strong people out or these men out, then that means that if you're losing your strong person, it's not as big of a loss as if these other tribes had their strong men as well. So I think it really opens it up where you don't have to only think about tribe strength.
Yeah.
I don't think that people are going to be like, oh yeah, it's been 2 men in a row, so we got to vote out a woman. Maybe some of the men might think that and it might pass their mind, but I think 2 isn't a large enough number for a pattern to begin for people to be like, oh, this is something I should be thinking about.
Mm-hmm. TK said something in his exit interviews, I think with Mike, I think he talked about this, that he said that if he was on one of the other tribes, that Tuku was so strong that they could vote him out. If he was on either Gata or Lavu, they would not have voted him out.
You see, I think that's a fair one. Like, if your strength is very divided amongst people, losing a strong person doesn't feel as bad. But I think, like, for example, like he said, if he was on Gata, he is that physically like, oh, strong, big guy. It might be like, oh, we're really losing a strong person. So I can see where he's coming from when he says that.
Yeah. Okay. How about a question from Sarah Cupcakes? In what way could Gabe have used his idol to maximum benefit? I mean, do you feel like, was this a misplay by Gabe, who seemed to be really dialed in, or was this just to protect against a rock draw, or was this to continue to dupe Tiyana?
I feel as if it was a mixture of everything. So I know that some people are like, you should have just saved Sue, don't be cute about it. But I also believe that when it's your first tribal, it's not bad if you have a 3 tribe idol to play it on the first. You can only have 3 opportunities. You might as well just play it, keep it safe. And then let's say that there is a rock draw. Now you're safe and your side has the numbers. Let's say, for example, that he did sorry, let me restart. So I know that people are like, he should have played the idol on Sue. But then, for example, if Tiyana didn't know he had the idol, this could then clue in on Tiyana, like you said, oh, maybe they're closer than I thought. So I'm not really against him playing the idol for himself, especially because we've seen what happens when people hold their idols literally in the last season. Yeah. So you have 3 tribals, you're just going to play it in one of the 3 because it's beneficial to you. And now the idol's back in play. So I think that will even lower people being like, Gabe, so squirrely, because now everyone's going to be looking for that idol. So I'm not against it.
Do you think that he was just exposed of already being a person with a known idol and just felt like I should just burn it?
I wouldn't say that. Like, I knew that Carolyn and Sue knew he had the idol, but I feel as if he was tight enough with them that he's not like, I have to burn this idol. But I think what's great is that, like, the secret was then, because TK caught him finding the idol. So I would think more so that he would vote TK and not play the idol, so the secret was safe that TK found him. But with him going and playing the idol, I feel as if it was more like, okay, I think I know what the position is. I'm just going to play this to be safe. And then if a rock draw happens and I can't actually read Tiyana, I'm safe and I'm willing to not flip my vote.
Can you tell me a little bit about what you think about Sue so far?
I think a lot about Sue. Like, I don't know. Sue is Sue. She's there, perceived the weakest on the tribe, but like, she really has a lot of spunk. And I've heard that a lot of flight school owners do have a very particular character to them. So I feel as if we're not seeing
tell me about that.
Like, they all are, I'm trying to keep this, like, they're all cracked. Not my words. But like, so I think there's this spunk in Sue, especially being like,
I think that's probably fair because I mean, I feel like they're like, what's the type of person that's like, you know what? I want to be up in little tiny airplanes with people that don't really know how to fly them, and I think it's gonna be fine. I think it's gonna work out. Day. That's how I'd like to be spending my time.
Every single day is loves the adrenaline, but yeah. So I think Sue's fine. You know, I just think that the tribe, she didn't bond enough with the tribe, so then they were like, oh, older woman, let's just get her out, was what TK was thinking. But it wasn't like any against for her. And I think she has a lot of game in her.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about where Kyle is in all this. He's on the wrong side of the numbers, but I
Yes.
feel very optimistic about Kyle's coming out of last night's episode.
Yeah, I feel as if Kyle was on the wrong side of numbers, not because they hate Kyle, but because they're like, let's just get this as clean as possible. And we know Kyle's not going to vote against TK. So I think that if Kyle comes back being like, guys, what happened? I would have voted with you. I can understand it. I still want to work with you. I think y'all are amazing. That, just like you said prior, if there's another tribal, they might keep Kyle over Tiyana.
Yeah.
But I also think he's just very like Southern, very construction worker. He said a phrase in the episode. I can't remember what it was, but I remember thinking that is so construction.
Okay, but Maryanne, he seems like the nicest guy ever based off of what we've seen on the episode. And then I watched this secret scene today. Did you happen to see the secret scene of Kyle today?
No, tell me about it.
Okay, so Kyle and TK went catching crabs, and Kyle was helping out with catching the crabs, and he ended up bringing back a bunch of like big hermit crabs, I think, to go. And they make them, and it turns out Kyle has not eaten any animals in 7.5 years. He says, he's only eaten things from the earth. He can't bring himself to eat something that has a heartbeat. What a nice person. And I just say this in contrast to the person I'm talking to, who eats various things like Stephen Fishbach, koala bears.
Oh, yeah? I eat koala bears?
Didn't you sample some exotic?
No, not koala. I had kangaroo. We had crocodile. There was what? Emu. Emu is what you're thinking.
But you would have eaten koala bear, right?
If it was legal, absolutely.
But don't you need that meat eating instinct to be a Survivor winner?
Like, no. I think yes, but no. As in, like, is Kyle probably going to be sniped out in the end because he doesn't have the killer instinct? Probably, But if Kyle managed to somehow make it to the end when being kind, yeah, I think he could win. But because people still at the grand end of the scheme vote for who they want to vote for, So even though you might have the best strategy, if someone else makes you feel good, they might go for it. But I also think, though, that people care a little bit more about strategy than they did before. So I really think that if you're kind, gentle, don't have that killer instinct, there's a non-zero chance, but it's closer to 0 than 100.
Okay. Maryanne, speaking of crabs.
Yeah.
Are you feeling comfortable with channeling Stephen Fishbach back to give out a fishy award?
Yes.
Or do we have to come up with a different award for the Maryanne?
No, I'll give a fishy. I will give a fishy. And the fishy that I will give, if you know, I'm still going to have to, and I might be biased because I feel that this person would have treated me the way I wanted to be treated. It's Sam. Like, I just think to have a public idol and play it so well that everyone's just like, oh, I guess he's like, Sam's a good player. I guess he's a better player. And not like, Sam has an idol, we need to blindside him immediately. I think he took the hands that he had and played it masterfully. I think it's great. I think that wanting to go, he's close enough with Sierra that he said, I want to play the idol on Andy. And Sierra was like, I don't like that, but I guess I'll go with what Sam says. Yeah. I think that like wonderful, like play out an episode for Sam. I'm giving Sam the fishy.
Okay. All right. Congratulations to Sam, the fishy with an asterisk. From Maryanne.
Absolutely.
Now, but you ate Stephen, so it's fine.
I did.
He's part of
you. He always will be a part of me.
Okay. So Maryanne, do you like Sam's idea of I'm going to use the idol on baby Andy?
Do I like the idea? No, I don't like the idea. And the reason why I don't like the idea is because why would he play the idol on Andy when he has the idol? And theoretically, if he's playing it on Andy, it's going to be Andy, Sierra, and him. He has the votes. There's no need to be cutesy, especially if, like, let's say you have a one tribal idol, don't be cute if you think you have the numbers. Rather protect yourself. The only time which I would play it is if you know in your heart of hearts that someone isn't going to play it on you. So I think it's a vibe check. I'd prefer him to go for the votes rather than do the cute idol play, especially because that can really
that's a
rub
good
the
point.
wrong way. Yeah.
Right. I guess the idea is that you can save Andy without telling him, and you don't trust that Andy isn't going to spill the beans in some way.
Mm-hmm. I think that with Andy going and telling his idol information, Sam can trust him enough. And then also, the only thing that is the issue is if the girls go and tell Andy that Sam has the idol to try to flip on Sam. But like, it just doesn't, which is why I'm like, you might as well just go and play the idol for yourself. But it just seems like too many logical steps to make.
Yeah.
As like a move. So, yeah.
Maryanne, anything else on your mind about Survivor 47?
Oh my goodness. You know what? There was something on my mind and I've now forgotten it. So I'm going to go through the tribes, look at the faces. I have the faces on one screen, so I never forget their beautiful names. Like Blue Tribe, no. Yellow, no. The Masterful Idol play red, no. Just the only thing which I have to say is for future players, for players who are currently in casting or about to fly out and are looking for suggestions, if you are ever going to talk behind someone's back, keep watch and make sure that they don't walk up on you when you're talking behind them.
Did that ever happen to you, Maryanne?
That I got caught talking, like when talking behind someone?
Did you get caught or did
I
you catch
never
someone?
got caught because I'm always, if I'm going to talk trash or talk strategy, I have eyes. I'm looking one way. Someone's looking another way. Did I talk against other people? Yes. That's what you have to do when you're strategizing and getting people out. But I was never caught because you always look when you're talking about someone else. You got to keep a little bit level of paranoia like that. And like, also like with that. So I think that is for Tiyana, Kyle, Teeny, and Kashan are the ones that I saw that, but like, just please make sure you're looking. If you're looking and then maybe you're not able to switch the convo or something, it's all good. But like, please, just keep an eye out.
Yeah. I don't remember ever getting caught on Survivor, but my wife says constantly, she's like, you are the loudest whisperer. You don't know how to whisper. You talk so loud. She's like, it was like, remember when TK was talking and Sue was trying to sleep? That's like what my house is like all the time, Maryanne.
Oh my gosh. Nope, not my house.
Why are you yelling? I'm like, this is my normal voice. I'm not yelling.
No, I get that a lot too. But I also get it from Sue. I am a habitual napper, and Connor knows that when it is time to nap, he is silent. He does not open the door. He does not approach me until I have approached him and finished my nap. Like, I am a very intense napper. So I get Sue. Sue. The sanctity of napping is very important.
All right. Well, Maryanne, we've got a very important night here on RHAP. Double eviction, baby.
Yes, the double. Sad for Leah, most likely, but we're excited to see who goes home next.
Yes. Okay. Do you have a favorite in Big Brother 26?
Oh my gosh. My favorite? I've been liking Chelsea's game, but the person who I love and have loved since day one is Angela. Okay.
Angela.
Ever since she started crying in the DR about how much she wants to be here, I'm like, this is it. This is her. This is me. I love her.
Prayer circle for Angela tonight.
And if Angela, the thing is, if Angela makes it to the end and is able to like go and articulate her game, she actually has 2 HOHs. She's 1 veto. Has done like 3 vetoes played on her. No. I'm team Angela for America's favorite player, Angela for winning. I like Leah as well too. I like Chelsea, MJ. I love MJ. Has always been fighting to play the game. Love MJ. Like, those are like the main ones which I kind of really enjoy.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. We got a really good one because another superstar is going to be here on RHAP tonight. Taylor Hale is going to join us for the double eviction recap. How about that?
Oh, so exciting. Exciting.
Going to be a very fun one. That's going to be live at 9:15 p.m. Eastern time tonight. And then on Friday, we'll have the we have the BB Q&A and the Survivor Q&A for the patrons. We're going to have a double patron Q&A coming up on Friday. Of course, all that is available to you when you become a part of the greatest reality TV community in the world at robinsonwebsite.com/patron. Maryanne, also, you can go to RHAPplus.com. What do you think of that?
Oh, I love different hooks, multiple domains. That's the best thing. Make it. And you also have WeKnowSurvivor.com, don't you?
Yes, WeKnowSurvivor.com for
There
everything,
you go.
all of our Survivor podcasts, everything that I do and everything on the entire network of RHAP is at WeKnowSurvivor.com.
There you go.
All right. Maryanne, what's coming up for you?
Okay. I can't talk about what's coming up, but I can talk about
what's okay.
No, not because of any secret thing. No.
Oh.
Don't. No, you're reading into that. I was just trying to set this up. So, are you someone who loves strategy? Are you someone who owns a PC and loves 4X games? Well,
Is this Ace Investigates?
It's not. My husband just released Ara History Untold. It is a 4X game published by Microsoft, AAA game. It's a video game he's been working on. Literally, he made it, okay? So if you love 4X games, Ara History Untold is a game he made. I know.
Just slow down for me.
Yes.
Okay, so Connor invented the game. It's a 4X game.
So
what is a 4X game?
I can't tell you.
For
It's
Xbox?
No, it's like 4X. So it means like explore, like expand. It's like civilization
because sometimes like Johnny Fairplay used to tell me about, like, I've got this 3X game. You gotta check it out. Check out this 3X game. And I looked at it and I was like, oh my God. Like I'm not old enough to see this.
No, it's basically like a civilization game where like you have an empire and you expand your empire. You get armies.
What are the 4 X's?
I couldn't tell you, but I know that some are explore. I feel one is exterminate.
Exterminate?
Expand. Yeah, because war. You're killing them. Expand, explore, exterminate, and
excellent.
Excitement. Like develop. Excitement. Oh, someone said, Ashley says it's explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate. Yeah.
Well, I don't like to hear about that, Connor.
Yeah, but it's a very fun game. So please.
But that's incredible. He developed a game.
Yes, he did.
What's it called?
ARA History Untold.
ARA
History Untold.
ARA.
Yep.
History Untold.
Yes.
Okay.
And he's a UX UI designer. So if you see the fonts, he chose that font. And I'm very, very proud of him because it's like an actual full-on video game. So it's been really cool.
Yes. Okay. ARA History Untold. It's your world now.
Exactly. You get to change history. It's untold.
Change history. We break the hourglass in this game.
Break the hourglass. You can play as whoever you want. You can play as.
You will play as Erica.
You can't play as Erica.
Can you play as Roxroy?
You can't. Okay, so you can't play as everyone, I guess. You can play though as Harriet Tubman.
Oh, okay.
Or Genghis Khan, I think you can play as. I'll have to think again.
Do I have to unlock Genghis Khan?
No, I think he's owned. I think you can also play as your own character, but don't.
Can I play as Jelinski?
You can't play as. You can play as people, but maybe not these players.
Okay. Wow. All right. Well, this is incredible.
It
Good
is
for Connor.
You see, look at the font. That's his work. And if you see apples, that's his work. That font, he made that. So I'm really, really proud of him. Like, I'm really, really proud of him.
Okay. Wow. Incredible. Congratulations to Connor on getting this done. And congratulations to you on going to medical school.
Thank you. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
Right. There you go. Okay. You two are the power couple.
Oh, no. There's more powerful couples out there.
I don't know. Name one.
Candace and Cody.
I mean, Candace is Cody, right? Are you giving John Cody the
Candace
last name?
And John. There it is.
Are you giving him the last name treatment like Cochran?
I guess I am. Yeah, that was very intentional. Yes, Candace and John. Okay, power couple. The powers of couples.
Okay.
Rob and Nicole.
Rob and Nicole, for sure. Okay. Maryanne, I love when we get together.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell people to check out? I mean, you gave us a lot.
Oh my goodness, no. Like, I don't really think I have anything. But if you do want to play Ace Attorney Investigations, please start with the Ace Attorney trilogy. It will
Where
make
can I
more
play it
sense.
on? Where can I play Ace Attorney?
Everything.
I can play it on
Steam,
Xbox.
you can play it on Xbox.
Can
You can play it on
my
your
sons
Switch.
play it? Is it 3X?
How old's your son?
So my oldest son, Dominic, is going to be turning 11 this weekend.
I will hold off on it because happy birthday to him. Because like you're a lawyer for murder trials.
Yeah, but he
right?
plays Fortnite where he's actually murdering people.
Okay. I would that if you're fine with that, I think that it's okay. I'd like it's not graphic. It's just that like you're talking about murders and murderers, so your mileage may vary. You know your children best.
Okay. All right. I'll see if he's interested.
Yeah.
Okay. And if not, how about Era History Untold?
ARA, absolutely.
ARA, A-R-A. Yes.
ARA.
Okay.
That one's fun. 4X.
Yeah. Leave off it's like Aris, but leave off the last S for savings. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Maryanne, such a delight to get together. Would love to see what everybody has to say in the comments here on YouTube. And of course, we got much more coming up in our Survivor Q&A on Friday, plus everything else in the podcast feed. Josh Wigler is going to be on the B&B this week. Maryanne, did you happen to catch this week? Josh Wigler and I did a podcast about the 10-year anniversary of the San Juan del Sur premiere.
What? I didn't even know this. Spotify
Yep.
algorithm has been flopping on me. No, that's so sad.
Yeah, that's why you got to subscribe on multiple devices.
You're so right. Actually, you're so right for that. You're
no,
so
in all
real.
seriousness, I've been hearing that some of the podcatchers and some of that sometimes they miss episodes. If you don't play, sometimes maybe they're skipping episodes. So you need to subscribe in multiple podcatchers as well.
Okay, I got it. Noted. That's the first thing I'm
That's
going
what
to
happened
do.
to Maryanne. It happens to a lot.
Don't
I hear
let
it happens to a lot of people.
You. Don't let it happen to you.
I don't want to see it happen to the good people who love Survivor here at
Absolutely.
RHAP. So go to WeKnowSurvivor.com and make sure you're subscribed on multiple devices.
Of course.
Okay? All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.